Hello and welcome, family, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways, family, and that you're moving into your own narrative. I hope you're also moving into your safe havens, or tightening up your safe havens, because 2023 is going to be one hell, literally, of a ride. But those are stories for other days. Special shout out to our Patreon family. We appreciate, love you so much for supporting us on that platform and enabling us to continue to bring the most relevant news, awakening news to our people. And family, the reason I've kind of switched over to news right now is because there's so much happening that if you were to listen to Babylon, you would think that, it's business as usual and they're just doing the same, usual things in Africa, exploiting us, raping our natural resources, etc., etc. But it's a new day in Africa. And if we don't put out that alternative story, then it's like we're allowing Babylon to continue to keep us in this fantasy that is just no longer exists, family. And there is a revolution going on in West Africa against France. A massive revolution. The revolution already started in the minds and the hearts of the people. And now we're seeing, the different countries coming out and making bold steps from, of course, Mali, Niger, Guinea, I don't know if it's Guinea-Bissau or which one, all making a bold step. And it's like, there's this thing of our collective consciousness, family, I can't even talk. Our collective consciousness is so powerful that we infect each other with our spiritual, with what our spiritual vibe is. Let me say that, because the spirit of revolution that has taken over Mali and the spirit of solidarity and standing and saying enough is enough, we want to cast our own destiny, it is spreading to other nations. And get this, family. So, Gabon are the latest former French colony that want to tell France to, stick themselves up where the sun don't shine. Let me just put it like that. And they actually, the Gabonese citizens wanted to hold a demonstration against France this week, and the government denied them. And that's something I want to talk about. You see what's happened, and I think this is across the world now in the most recent years. They use terrorism and all these things to create a lot of new mandates. And one of the mandates that we're seeing is like, okay, you can demonstrate against a government, because they're trying to control everything. So the way they're trying to control the revolutionary voices and kind of dampen the revolution is by saying that, okay, you can demonstrate for freedom of your country, but you have to get a license from us, you have to get a license from the police, so they can, and then the police will send some people just to keep the rioters and those who aren't not rioters, but demonstrators and those who aren't demonstrating safe. So they have totally robbed us of our freedom of demonstration under this guise of you have to get this license and stuff. And we've seen the damage of that now, because Gabon wanted to have this massive demonstration, so they approached against French bases in the country, because get this, according to the Swedish Defense Research Institute, there are 350 French bases or installations in Gabon. What? 350? That's an occupation, family. That's a freaking occupation. And can you see how big Gabon is on this map? And so the people wanted, the organizers wished to demonstrate against the French military presence in Gabon. But despite the opposition group's commitment to ensure a peaceful gathering, the Gabonese interior minister did not grant the request authorization, citing that they had cooperation and military agreements in place that bound the two countries. This tells you that the Gabonese government is a French puppet. And remember, I talked about how the president, Ali Bongo, how he had this stroke. Was it in 2019, when he was supposed to be going for a summit in Saudi Arabia? And since then, he's barely there. In fact, opposition members have asked for him to receive an assessment. He almost looks like a robot or a clone. Remember I told you, family, I'm not joking when I say some of our presidents are clones. And others are just very sick and on Babylon medication, so they're looking crazy. Fat, what? Anyway. So, and you know, this guy, like, he hadn't actually appeared, he didn't appear in public for like almost a year. So obviously, it is not these people that are running the Gabonese government. And this was probably an order given by the French. And this won't last. And that's why there's going to be a change in Africa. Because you can't tell people, okay, you have freedom of movement, you have freedom to demonstrate, but you have to let us know. Then when they let you know, you're like, ooh, sorry, we don't like why you're demonstrating. And that's why, you know, there's a famous quote, a famous sayings that goes that freedom is not passed on from one generation to another. Never. Every generation must fight for the freedom of their time. And we are fighting for the true liberation of Mama Africa. And this is when you see things getting violent. Because the people are fed up. 350 military installations. So you think if you just tell the Gabonese people you can't do it, they're not going to do it? The minute you give them resistance, and that goes viral. Because one thing is, among the youth, especially in West Africa, the mainstream media, especially the French media, they've lost power. They no longer have the group consciousness of the people. And so governments shouldn't think that these kind of things will fly. Then it's like before. People might as well just go on the streets and do their thing without telling anyone that they're going on the streets. But family, don't think that this freedom is just going to come. Please watch a show I released recently about the only way out. Make sure you secure you, your children, your family first, and you have a safe haven. And then wait for spiritual instructions or move into what you feel inspired to do, how you feel inspired to contribute. Until next time, tuko pamoja.